And thank you so much for taking the time to join us for Tuesday night's deep dive. Our topic tonight is collagen and the importance of it for, whether we're talking skin, eyes, brain, organs, pain, repair, pretty much everything has something to do with collagen. So again, talking about the importance of keeping our master cells really healthy and preventing the dying cells. That dying cell is why that cave in face is, happening right there. It's a loss of cellular life and foundation. But the X39 patch that is bringing back our dormant stem cells with light, activating your own body's healing resources is amazing and very cutting edge technology, been around for 20 years, developed for the US Navy SEALs. And it is patented. This is the only company in the entire world you'll find this, but there is 45 years of documented studies looking at the GHK copper peptide that this brings back and talking about resetting 4,000 of your genes to a younger state, reducing inflammation, supporting immune function, and so much more. And what it's doing is releasing the powerhouse within. That's the mitochondria of our cells and helping the resilience so that the body has that ability to regenerate and repair as it was designed to do. This is just a tool. The patch is a tool, but one thing that X39 is helping with is increasing the collagen, the elastin, and that is what is improving the tissue repair. And it is a very powerful cell, and it is helping to keep at bay those dastardly molecules that want to creep in age and decline and decay. So it's our friend. And the more of these active cells that we have in our body, those stem cells, they have the ability to heal, regenerate, and make a lot of difference in the body. So what does GHK specifically do besides increasing the stem cells? We talked about, reducing the age of genes, but it helps reduce pain, anxiety. It gives us a calming, helps repair DNA damage, repairing that damage, and a lot of other things, including organ regeneration. And I'm going to show you in a minute here a little more in depth. But what we're talking about is a quantum device to activate your body's own universal stem cells. And it is a patented form of phototherapy. And when we are at an older age, by the age 60, we have less than 10% of our own stem cells remaining to do the heavy lifting and repair work. But they have a new study out, and it's showing the rapid wound healing with tissue repair, reducing of wrinkles, boosting health, just all over in many different ways. So one of the patches that I mentioned a minute ago was originally coined the original trophy wife patch because it was developed in tandem with a holistic natural health skincare line, a day cream and night cream and an eye cream that are clean. None of these scary ingredients that, have all these strange codes and, chemical names. This is all natural. And it's algae based, so perfect pH. But really, what we're talking about is so much more than just beautiful skin. We're not only excited about reducing the appearance of lines and brightening the complexion and hydrating. Oh my goodness, I can't even tell you. My skin feels so, so soft now because of using these products. But it's all plant derived. And you can see how much more it is doing than just making pretty skin. Because we're bringing back collagen in a very big way with this. And you can see here the décolleté in just 6 months, this lady with a very wrinkled, dried out décolleté. Look at how youthful and dewy that is. And the fellow up here, this is somebody who's been dealing with those fast growing cells. This is a friend of Cammie's. And look at after 2 months how that has healed. He'd been dealing with that for 15 years and had 20 procedures of cutting on him. But we're going to talk about how this brings back your hyaluronic acid, how this decalcifies your pineal gland in your brain. That is a fountain of youth trigger. That is helping to make all of this possible. It also is re-triggering melatonin. You remember how great you used to sleep when you were a kid? Wait till you try this. My goodness, my dreams are amazing because my pineal gland is young and vibrant and active again. But we're talking about soft tissue repairs, ligaments, tendons, even cartilage. I'll show you that in a minute. Hormone balancing. We talked about the sleep, the frontal lobe of the brain. If you know anyone dealing with cognitive issues, this Alavita at night, we sleep with it between our eyebrows and is so fantastic. But that collagen also is helping with the vision, so many other things. If you are using the skincare, especially the eye cream, it has the GHK copper peptide right in that. So pretty amazing. And it really goes into the skin nicely. And this is just kind of showing you after a very short while of using these 15 days. I mean, these ladies are seeing results and differences, very noticeable. And then look at this. This is our friend Ray. Look at him. The picture on the left was before, this is 89 years old on the left. This is his 90th birthday party picture. Look at how that is all filled in. All those wrinkles are smoothed out. Do you know why he was using this? It wasn't for pretty skin. It's because he had a rotator cuff tear and it saved him the surgery. It all repaired. And look at this lady here. She's looking a whole lot healthier as well. Again, this is an amazing system, but we are talking about so much more than just skin. We are talking about stimulating that pineal gland, and it's doing so many good things for the collagen, the cartilage, reducing our oxidative stress, elongating the length of telomeres. I don't know if you know what telomeres are. I don't want to get too technical on you, but telomeres are the end caps of our DNA. Think of it like that little plastic coating on your shoelace. Um, it just really does great things and it's directly tied to longevity. But there's also tremendous anti-fast growing cell issues with this to help prevent that condition and turn that around if you're already dealing with it. But the benefits to the skin really start from the inside out. And our friend Dr. John Harmon has written a fantastic book talking about the power of the peptide epitalan. And that is what Alavita brings back. So over 50 years of research on that peptide epitalan and pretty life-changing stuff. But this is just a quick look at collagen. I wanted you to see a picture here on the right. There are these little bundles. And, you know, when we're young, they're really tight. It's like, you know, think of a mattress with springs. And you sleep on those mattresses for too long and those springs break down. And that's what happens in our body. That collagen breaks down as well. But I want to show you the difference of young skin here on the left on the upper image. And you can see how tight everything is. Think of that as the springs in that mattress. It has good foundational support, right? Fibroblasts are a lot of what makes that really a good, nice, solid foundation. But look at the aging skin on the right. And the fibroblasts are many fewer and really broken down. This image on the bottom, I think, really shows it well. You know, it looks like a roller coaster on good solid tracks here when we're young, right? I wouldn't want to be riding on that roller coaster as it ages. So let's make our skin better. Let's give it better structural support. I'm going to show you how we do that. Because we're going to be able to do that, not just for pretty skin, but let's talk about joints. How many of us think we're just going to live with these painful joints the rest of our lives? I'm here with great news to tell you it is not necessary to do that. You can actually help regenerate a lot of your connective tissues using the combination, the X39, the Eon, taking out that inflammation, the swelling, the pressure on nerves, a lot of that pain, this is inflammation. But we actually have a breakdown in the tendons or the cartilage. This is an image here of a torn cartilage, osteoarthritis, a lot of the itises. You know what that really stands for? It means trapped toxins. If you have any form of arthritis, it means in your joints or on your nerves, the toxins couldn't get out of your body and they went and settled in. But I have some really great news. We have a patch that can help you get the pathways open to get those icky toxins out of the body and off of your joints. Nobody wants that. You know, and how many of us sprain something here and there? There's a beautiful way to make a change. This is a system that David Schmidt, the inventor of this amazing product, recommends when somebody is bone on bone. And my mom just turned 80 and she was bone on bone 2 years ago with terrible creaking knees. Well, she had had one, I should take that back. One was surgically full knee replacement. It was terrible. We almost lost her on the table. She aspirated. She ended up getting pneumonia. She went back and forth in and out of the hospital. Then she had to go to convalescent care to get her body back. We didn't have the patches back then. Man, I wish I'd known what I known then, what I know now, let me tell you, because she wouldn't have gone through all of that. Because guess what? The second knee replacement she needed, we did this. And guess what? She never needed that surgery. And in about 90 days, she said, wow, those patches are working. The pain's gone. The creaking is gone. Well, think of little tiny oil cans going around all your joints, and it's putting back the collagen. That's the oil can that keeps nice, smooth, fluid joints. So if we keep working on it, we can bring these things back. That glutathione I mentioned is really important because that you have in your liver. We all have glutathione. But the thing is, we lose it just like we lose the stem cells. And when we use the glutathione patch, it very quickly opens the pathways, gets all that gunk out. It can be heavy metals, toxins, um, metals, all sorts of different chemicals that are in the body, um, even viruses, flus, the COVID spike. A lot of things get resolved with glutathione. The inflammation reduction with Eon, and then carnosine. Carnosine is another peptide that you have in your brain and in your heart in high concentration. And that's really working on blood flow. So when we bring it back with the patch, you're bringing back your own carnosine. You're not getting a synthetic supplement or pill from the pharmacy. You're not getting an injection of somebody else's DNA. All of this is your own, and it's amazing. But if you also bring in collagen, the bovine quality is excellent for regeneration of that cartilage, and a lot of vitamin C. Ester C is a really good one. Liposomal C is preferred because your body absorbs it better. And David recommends about 3,000 milligrams a day, spaced out about 1,000 milligrams a day to really regenerate that cartilage so you too can cancel your knee replacement like my mom did. But collagen is also how bone is started. Did you know that collagen is just mineralized bone? I didn't know that. So if you have bone mass issues and if you want to prevent fractures, some people just fall down, trip and fall, and golly, broke a hip, broke an arm. It can really set you back in life. But if you have good solid collagen, you don't have the fractures because you've got moisture in there and that lubrication. And Cami talked a minute ago about the spine health, but I just want to reiterate, this is so regenerative. When you bring back that collagen, look at that spinal cord on the left. That is a worn out, broken down spinal cord where you see indentations, bone on bone. That's that term. Pain, that hurts. The bulging disc between the C7 and the T1, you see that black disc right there? This is the same person a few months later. That collagen has been triggered to regenerate that. The pain goes away. There were no injections, no surgeries. And this lovely lady here with the curvature of the spine, I just really struggled with this. I couldn't understand how this could work until I met a lady at our convention. She's 68 years old. Her name is Gail, and I believe hers resolved in less time than this 30-something-year-old woman. So it's not always age. And when my painful bunion on my left foot just went away miraculously, I was going through the same process. I didn't even know it. We're dealing with cellular change here. It's slow. There's no neon sign that tells you, yay, you're resolved, it's done. It took a friend calling me asking if these miracle maker patches, as we all refer to them, would help her with her bunion because I had that surgery on my right foot, swore I'd never do it again. And I was like, my bunion, oh my goodness. But yeah, it's gone. No more pain. And my feet look identical. I had one bunion removed surgically, the other one, collagen, remodeled it. I love it. But collagen is also really key in fertility and helping couples get pregnant. I did not realize the role that collagen plays. It's not just when we get old, but when we want to come into the world, it's a key ingredient. Um, So whether we're dealing with the ovary or the sperm, the collagen is key. The uterus, to help that uterus grow and stretch and then shrink back down. That's elasticity. The more collagen you have in your body, the quicker you're going to go back into shape after you have that body. And just think of, stretch marks. Collagen can help you recontour those too. And then the breast milk. I didn't even think about that, but collagen really helps with your bone health, your calcium, your metabolism. So your new moms are making that, and then it's helping you to keep up on the supply of that milk and the increased energy demands on that mom. So look at this whole little circle, this beautiful little newborn baby in the making. That is pure collagen at its finest. That's how this baby begins. So collagen is so important. So again, I just want to reiterate, it's not just about hair growth, it's your metabolism, it's your joint mobility, it's detoxification, it's reducing wrinkles, lines, gut regeneration. Oh my goodness, we have another recording on our YouTube channel that talks all about regenerating the gut. It recontours the body, but it ends up helping the brain too. We're going to talk more about that in just a minute. But this is our friend, Dr. Harmon. He's written two fantastic books. You can get these on Amazon. The one on the left was the first one, and that's about the GHK copper peptide, which the X39 patch is bringing out, and then the Epitalon, which is what the Alavita patch is bringing out. So cannot say enough good about these books. And here is Cami and Carla, and they are almost neighbors where Carla grew up over in Idaho. And he has a clinic that is all about brain health. It's called Clear Mind Center of Meridian, Idaho. And he's a pretty amazing fellow. And he's taught us so much about the brain. But this is helping to improve memory. That Epitalon, the X39, the Alavita, it's all working synergistically. It's also helping to maintain your synapses, the plasticity in your brain. And that's really important. And you want to protect that. You want to do everything you can to keep that vital, keep that little oil can going in that brain. Don't let it dry out, become a raisin. Dehydration is very, very detrimental to all of our organs. But what that Epitalon does is it helps create energy. That energy comes through the mitochondrial function of the cell. Every cell has a little engine in it, if you will, that produces energy. It also is helping to reduce oxidative stress. And if you're not sure what that means, I hear a lot about that word, but when someone explained it as cut an apple, set it on the counter, it's the rust. That brown, ugly color? It's a beautiful apple. You just take that icky little part off, still tastes great, right? That is what's happening in our body as we age. We don't want rust in our body. So this Epitalon helps get that out. And it's just doing so many good things for the health of your tissues, your organs, your longevity. So heart, there was a 12-year clinical trial on elderly patients that are dealing with coronary disease. And they found that a long-term treatment with the epithalmin, again, that is the peptide, the Alavita, is bringing out with the help of X39, but it decreased their functional age. They actually went backwards. And I know a number of people who are in their 70s and they go back, they get the biomarkers checked on their blood work and they're, in their mid 50s biologically after a few months or a year or two. Who doesn't want that? But they're able to exercise more. It reduces the mortality rate. It's helping people have more longevity. That's why this is considered regenerative medicine. When we regenerate, we get to stay here on this planet longer. That's a really good place to stay. Stay here with us as long as you can and enjoy the best life too. But the cardiovascular decline was 2 times lower in the group that got the epithalmin treatment. So again, telomeres, we touched on that just briefly. This is an actual picture. And there are blue zones around the world where people live to be 100 years or longer. And what they find is they always have a lot of glutathione in their body, which we talked about, opening pathways to get out the toxins, but they have very lengthy telomeres because every time the cell divides, it shaves a little bit of that end cap off. So the healthier your end cap, the telomere, the healthier that cell division is. When that telomere shortens, it frays. Now think of your shoelace. You know how frustrating that is to thread that or shredded, I should say, shoelace through that little eyelet. It's frustrating, right? Well, it gets even worse when it is your DNA end caps that are trying to divide and you don't have a healthy end cap. That's when we get a real major breakdown. So you really want to keep those elongated. Alavita is one of the only ways in the world to do that. It also is working on sleep. I mentioned to you my dreams. They are truly Academy Award-winning dreams. But the telomerase, they actually help inhibit the cell division of those fast-growing cells by regulating and helping to prevent the elongation and regeneration of those cells that we don't want. Just really incredible. And again, this fellow here is living proof. He's not being cut on anymore. He's just instead wearing, really lovely applied patches. So much easier than going and being cut on. And that good night's sleep is really, we can thank the pineal gland for helping to make that melatonin come back to life. That's helping us fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, and getting into a deeper level of sleep. And when you can get your body into 5 cycles of sleep, and that's typically 1.5 hour cycles, that is when the body is restoring and repairing. So all day long, the body's keeping up with us. It's that sleep cycle that allows us to get better and not worse. Detoxification is really critically important in the middle of the night too. 1 and 4 a.m. is when our body is purging out those toxins. That's why we want to have high glutathione in our body. So those little exit ramps off the freeways are wide open and let the junk flow on out. That deep sleep creates human growth hormone. You've probably heard a lot of rage about HGH. You can create your own. Some people are trying to get this from other people. There's some controversy how it's obtained and what have you, but this is your own HGH. And it is that firmness and the elasticity in your skin because of collagen is a function of HGH. So that's pretty great. It can also help delay the onset of visual signs of aging. So, those sunken foundations, like I was showing you earlier with the collagen and the fibroblasts that are gone. And then again, we've got a couple other patches. If X39 isn't enough for you, the Alavita, and then we can add Silent Nights too. But I find X39 and Alavita is a real game changer. So the critical sleep cycle, just showing you there's 4 stages here, and that REM sleep is where you really want to get. But I want to go real quickly into eyes because collagen helps make up the soft tissue. And guess what? That eye, that has a lot to do with it. And we all want to score a really high number and, have that 20/20 vision for life. But unfortunately, some of us are faced with eye degeneration. So look at that beautiful, young, hydrated eye on the left. And look at this old, worn out eye. Literally, that has become the reason. Look at how the eye has shrunken. And you know how some people, as they age, their eyes get really inset deep back in? That is why that collagen goes away and that foundation isn't there. But I'm here to tell you some good news. It doesn't have to stay that way. A lot of eye diseases and vision decline is really the cells in that eye are dying because of oxygen starvation, toxins. So I told you earlier, when you have an itis like arthritis, plantar fasciitis, all of these itises have to do with toxins. So when they go to settle in, they're seeking out nerves, right? What's one of the biggest nerves in the body? It's an optic nerve. So you'll find a lot of toxic conditions are the baseline of, can be a cataract, it can be macular degeneration, glaucoma. A lot of them typically are often low glutathione. So again, I'm not making any medical condition claims here. I'm just giving you the facts. This is the body. The body used to have a lot of glutathione. It had perfect vision. The body ages, has little glutathione. Toxins start building up. We start having these conditions. So just keep that in mind. So the cause of red eyes It can be injury, infection, allergies. Usually it's inflammation, though. That is the big trigger. And it is because we have irritated blood vessels just under the surface of the eye. But that pressure has to go somewhere. It's not going to blow out the front of the eye. Sadly, it's going to go to the backside, and that does damage on the optic nerve. So I really encourage you to keep your inflammation under control. That Eon patch, if you have inflammation or red eyes, you need to be wearing that every single day. There's other conditions out there, retinal atrophy, eye floaters, geographic atrophy. There's all sorts of conditions out there, and a lot of it just has to do with the breakdown of the cellular health, the breakdown of your collagen, and the storage of toxins. So protecting the macula is really important, and it's the most sensitive part of your eye. Sadly, it's the quickest to be damaged, and it makes it very hard to see clearly. You start getting shadows and halos and things. So we want to keep this really clear, clean, and healthy, and the patches work beautifully to help do that. And this is just a picture of a normal eye and a cataract eye, and you can see how the change in that lens, it's just not seeing as clear as it did at one time, and the image becomes blurry. And we showed you the dog a little bit ago. So brain health. I'm going to wrap it up on this category. I'm saving the best for last. But this brain you're looking at right here is a beautiful soft tissue organ. And I hope you learned something tonight. What's all the soft tissue made of? I don't care where it came from, what it was. It all starts with collagen. And if we don't keep that collagen moist, that brain starts to do a decline. So the rule of collagen in that brain is the structural support. It's maintaining the shape and the integrity. It's a very crucial role for memory retention, for giving you the ability to learn new things. And I encourage you, don't just use patches. Do crossword puzzles, those fun games. Play games with your kids, your grandkids. Go for a walk. Get that brain moving. Let it get oxygen, because you have neuroprotective effects that are shielding your neurons from damage and oxidative stress. But we have to keep them young and pliable and moist and fluffy. Don't let it become a dried out grape, okay? Promise me that. So when you do that protein, that is that collagen, it improves your focus, it reduces your brain fog. And that was me going through that change of life. Man, my brain fog went away so quickly on these, and my hair started growing back and a million other things. My thyroid also regenerated in about 4.5 months. All of this is all synergistically working together to slow your cognitive decline and protect your body and brain against age-related things. So again, we have a number of patches that can help with your collagen restoration, your organ regeneration. At a bare minimum, X39 and Eon. That's where we always start. You can add in that X49 if you do have bone density issues. I highly encourage that combination X39, X49. Originally, that was developed to help with electromagnetic field protection for the cells and the brain. Because the 5G is very powerful and nothing can stop it. But when we add the Alavita, we're bringing back the collagen, the melatonin, getting into deeper sleep. We're elongating those telomeres. We're bringing back the hyaluronic acid. We're getting that trophy wife effect on the outside, but guess what? It's golden on the inside, and that's what matters the most. But the carnosine, again, you have that peptide in your heart and in your brain. You have it in every single organ, as a matter of fact, a little bit. But that blood flow for the circulatory system is critically important when we want to regenerate things. You got to bring blood there, and the quicker you can get it at a high velocity, the more repair it does. And again, that glutathione I was talking about, to keep the freeway exit ramps open to get the toxins out of your body. Can't say enough good. And we are so excited about our light infused water machine coming this summer. This is a game changer because we're putting light directly in the cells with the patches. Now, when we start drinking the light in our water, and it really only takes 1 12-ounce glass a day to give internal incredible change and regeneration of the body, you're going to see huge, huge turnarounds in health with this one. I cannot wait to get my hands on it. So water, very important to all the cells because our body is largely water. You do want to treat your gut well. Give it good food. Try to reduce the nitrates and preservatives that kill the gut bacteria. Try and skip the antibiotics and antibacterials. So use your probiotics, prebiotics. Fatty acids are fantastic to help give building blocks that the body needs to regenerate all those soft tissues and let that collagen flourish to keep your brain and your joints, your skin, everything young and beautiful. Vitamins, antioxidants, eating just a great diet. The best way to get your vitamins is always through diet. And if ever you'd like to place an order, please get back with the person who invited you. We do these at wholesale so that we can get you double the product as opposed to selling them to you at retail, just because we want to get you the most patches for the least cost of money. So at this point, just want to remind you that living younger today really begins with this amazing X39. Bringing back those dormant stem cells and GHK copper peptide is such a game changer. So we so thank you for joining us. I'm going to stop sharing and we're going to open it up for questions. And I'll go ahead and thank you everyone for being here tonight. If you're free, we'd love to have you come back next Monday or Tuesday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. We're always here. We look forward to seeing you then.